What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of G4 Outdoors. Are you having problems trying to decide between the Smith & Wesson Shield, the Glock 42 or 43, the Sig P365, or the Hellcat? Stick around because we got the video for you.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just dream of fishing while I'm going through my workday. I listen to my boss, though he's driving me berserk. Damn it, I can't take much more because my brain is really hurting.
Okay, so there are a ton of guns on the market. There's no reason in saying that one gun does not fit you. A lot of people will say that Glocks are the best. It's debatable. They run very good. I like them. The only thing I don't like is the ergonomics on a Glock, and of course this is a 42, so it's not the standard ergonomics of most of your Glocks. The shields, the Smith & Wesson Shield has been around for a long time. It has been a lot of people's go-tos for their everyday carry. Most recently after these two came the Sig P365, very handy to carry. And most recently that has come out is the Springfield Armory Hellcat. Let's go over each one of these individually and talk about the pros and cons of each. Okay, all of these guns, they do look like they're different sizes. And you're a little bit right and you're a little bit wrong. The only one that is big in here is the Smith & Wesson Shield. Now surprisingly, it is quite a bit bigger than the rest of these weapons. Put this over the 42, it's bigger. Put it over the 365, it's bigger. Put it over the Hellcat, and it's bigger. Not only is it bigger in its full size, but take a look at the magazines. The Shield magazines are bigger than all of these. And even though these do have extended base plates, let's just take these extended base plates off and do a fair comparison. This is an 8-round and this is a 9-round. Look how tall these magazines are just for being 8 and 9 rounds. Where you take the Sig Sauer, it has a 10-round magazine. That's just in this package. They do come with 12 and 15 rounds. And again with the Hellcat, let's go with this one over here, is a 13-round magazine and a 11-round magazine. So let's just go with the smallest one against the smallest one. I'm sorry, this is a 7-round and 8-round. So we're going to go with 11-round magazine, put it up against the Shields, and you can see there's just a huge size comparison. So, you know, you really got to factor in the amount of rounds that you want to carry. You know, these are single stack magazines here. Running over here to the Glock 42, you have a staggered stack magazine, and this only holds 6 rounds. So it's a very, very tiny magazine. Not to mention this is only a 380. So if you go into the 9mm, it's pretty much the same gun. You're going into minute differences on the size of this gun. The stippling is going to be the same, the trigger is going to be the same, sight picture and everything. One thing about this Glock that I've had problems with, yeah, I just did it by hand. This sight just drifts out without a problem. So sight picture on this, don't expect to be getting quality accuracy out of this because the sight moves around a ton. Still a fantastic weapon, both of these. I'm not downing either one of these. They both shoot and function very well. Let's move on over here to the Sig P365. Again, very nice weapon. These come with, not these, this one specifically comes with 2 10-round magazines, double stacked. Again, compare that with the 6-round 380 and the 7-round on the Shield. You're getting a lot less magazine, more capacity, and easier to carry. Again, very well functioning gun. Triggers pretty much all the same. 10-round magazines on both of these. They're not high capacity magazines, but these are high capacity comparatively to a 6-round or a 7-round. And again, look how tall that is, and 6 rounds in a 380, you're just not getting much. Let's move over here to the Springfield Armory Hellcat, and these are running 10 and 13 rounds. Sorry, 11 and 13 rounds on these. Now these are double stack as well, the same as the Sig Sauer. So you're running 11 rounds, we'll go with the smallest one, compared to the 10 round, the smallest one on the Sig Sauer. So there is a hair of a size comparison on these. You can see where one extra bullet will fit in there. Put this 13 rounder up next to it side by side, and you can see how you can fit 2 more rounds in here. So that's just a comparison on the sizes for now. All right, so next let's go into comfort, and comfort is going to be individual. That's for each individual person. One person says that this is going to be the most comfortable out of all these guns. I say this is the most comfortable. Buddy Andy on G4 Outdoors says that this gun is the most comfortable, but he carries this one every day. So to each their own. I'm going to give you my own opinion on this. The Smith & Wesson Shield, I recently just sold mine because I actually don't like it. I can't stand the gun. The narrowness of the back here, the ridge on the back, it's personal opinion. Again, don't get me wrong, it's a nice gun, it shoots well. But the thinness of this grip right here is just too thin for me, and coming back into the swell of my palm, it's just too narrow. And I don't enjoy shooting this gun all day long at the range. The Glock 42 in 380. This gun to me is very comfortable, even though I can only get 2 fingers on it, and it's a 380 that makes it very easy to shoot. Now this one right here, you see how thin that is? Look how thin that is compared to the Shield. It's the same size, but I like shooting this gun just because it fits better. It's just ergonomically better. Let's go with the Sig P365. Look how thin that is. Look how thin that is. Now, the Sig P365 is a tad wider because it is a double stack. We'll go with the Shield, and you can see that the handle on this is a little bit wider, if not very comparatively the same. But the Sig P365 with a extension, pinky extension on there, this gun right here fits me just so well. It lays in my hand, it aims well and everything. I just really like the ergonomics, and the stippling on the 365 is my favorite. It's not extremely rough. I definitely wouldn't want to rub this on my hand all day long because it will chew it up. Move over here to the Springfield Armory Hellcat. Now this gun, surprisingly, when Andy brought this over to my house, I held it, and this gun is super nice. Now when we put a 13 round magazine in there, you can see I get an extreme full purchase on this gun. The stippling on this gun, even though it's textured the same, the Sig Sauer is a little bit deeper and rougher than the Hellcat. Still yet, the Hellcat has really nice grips on it. The texturing is what I'm talking about. It has really nice grip to it. Nice finger swell right here for finger placement. That is one thing that the Sig does not have, the Glock does not have, nor does the Shield have a finger placement on there for, it's not something that you need, but it's very nice to have a place to lay your finger. Memory is what that's for, to keep your finger off the trigger. So that being said, all 3 of these guns are very comfortable, all except for the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. That gun I really don't like to shoot.
What's going on, guys? Andy here, G4 Outdoors. We're just going to give a different perspective on basically the same thing he just went through. I've fired all these guns except for the Hellcat because it's new, but I want to talk about why the Shield looks the way it does, because I've personally kind of given up on this gun. This is the Performance Center Smith & Wesson Shield. Performance Center. The main reason I went with the Performance Center when I was first buying this gun, obviously I was still new into guns when I purchased this gun, is because it had the trigger that's been worked on, and this that's been done, and that's been done. It doesn't matter. This gun still comes with the worst trigger that has ever been put on any firearm that I've ever shot. Hence the reason it has this on it. And after shooting it as much as I have, this is the most uncomfortable gun for me. The narrowness of this gun puts a lot of pressure in a single spot when firing it. It's not comfortable to shoot at the range. It's not fun for me to shoot at the range. And that's kind of why it is the way it is, and I've kind of given up on it myself, so I just started bedazzling it and making it look as cool as I wanted it to. But going into the Glock 42-43, the gun is very small and comparable to these ones, but with the single stack / staggered stack, you still get a very thin grip on the gun that just isn't comfortable to shoot. And in my opinion, the Glock stippling is the worst. If you have a little bit of wetness to your hand, this gun wants to come out and ride right out of your hand. At least it does for me. It may not for you, but for me. So for me, my favorite 2 are going to be the P365 and the Hellcat. The Hellcat, I wish I had this same stippling and grip on the Hellcat as the Sig P365 does. I love the 365's stippling. It's very comfortable. But with that, you get your pros and cons. With the Hellcat having a little less aggressive stippling, it's comfortable on the skin if you're carrying it inside the waistband. I think the P365 could rub a guy raw if it's just touching the skin the whole time. But at the same time, you really have to grip down on the Hellcat hard to get the stippling to kind of grip in tight. If you're holding it loose, it feels kind of slippery. I think the P365 wins as far as ergonomics and comfortability, plus the stippling. This gun isn't going anywhere at all.
So coming straight off the shelf, what are you going to be getting with these guns? First, let's start off with the Smith & Wesson Shield MMP9 Performance Center. You will not be getting this blue trigger or the gold barrel. That is an upgrade that Andy did on these on his own. It will come with a ported barrel along with the ported slide up here. So there's holes here that are ported, and it also comes with a ported barrel. The trigger on it is upgraded, although an upgrade is not too much on those. And then you have your fiber optic sights that these do come with factory. The Glock, you just get a Glock. Standard Glock sights, not too many people like them. Almost every Glock has upgraded sights on them. The Sig P365, what you do get with this, you do get a safety. I believe there's a safety on the Shield as well. Safeties are a personal preference. I'd rather do without them. But a big upgrade, it's not even an upgrade, it comes factory on the 365, is tritium night sights. That is a very handy thing to have. The Hellcat, it also comes with tritium sights, and I really do like the big dot kind of sight. I don't think it's called big dot, but same concept there. But this does come with tritium front sights and a white back sight as well. So that is the upgrades that come with these guns or do not come with these guns. So if any of these are in consideration for you guys and you plan on carrying them inside the waistband, the thickness is going to matter. Let's go ahead and compare all of these for thickness. I'm not going to get out a mic to show you the differences in all of these, but just from what you're seeing right here, would you choose one that's any thicker than the other? I think that they are all too close to being the same in thickness. So let's look at the height of all of these. Let's take a magazine out of one of these. And let's talk about the height of them. So if we can get the sun to come in here properly on these, you will be able to see the height. So the Glock is going to be the shortest. They've already fallen over. The Glock is going to be the shortest. The Shield is going to be the longest. And now we're down to the 365 and the Hellcat. As they sit right now, they're both exactly the same. If I get that in the right dimension, because there you go. They are both exactly the same. As far as length goes, the Hellcat and the 365 is very much the same. Trigger placement, the 365 has a longer reach, maybe. Actually, they're both the same once they are in a cocked position. So as far as thickness goes, you know, the 42 is almost exactly the same size as the 365. The Smith & Wesson Shield is very comparative to the 365. The Hellcat, it looks a little beefier, but down the eyeball, it appears to be the exact same size. The 42, as far as the hand grip, is definitely going to be the thinnest. There is a reason for that. It's a 380, not a 9. The Smith & Wesson Shield is going to be the next up. And again, this is a true single stack. It's just naturally going to be thinner. Now when we're looking at I don't even know which one we're looking at right here, but the one on the right appears to be a little bit larger. So if you want the smaller one, what are we looking at? The 365 is a hair smaller than the Hellcat. Okay, so that's the thinness factors of all of these, and that's going to be for inside the waistband carry. The thinness and the length of this is going to matter when it comes to inside the waistband carry. As far as printing and comfortability. So let's start off with the Glock 42. 6 rounds. You're not getting a lot of gun here, guys. Let's go ahead and set this right here safely. Now that's 6 rounds. Okay, that's not a lot of rounds to go with. Let's go with the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 9 with the Performance Center, and this is a 7-round magazine. And what I want you to do is go ahead and draw an imaginary line across here because this is an extended base plate. Next, let's run into the Sig P365, and just for comparative sakes, I'll put in a flush magazine, 10-round magazine. Now let's run into the Hellcat, and we'll run with the smallest mag, which is an 11-round magazine. So let's safely put all of these up here. And visually speaking right now, Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 9 is definitely going to be the longest. It's actually the biggest gun here, so I would not want to carry this, and again, I just don't like it. Get it off the table. The Glock 42, I really do like this gun, and as light as it is, it just doesn't carry a lot of bullets, but I really do like this gun just for the fact that, you know, as small as this looks, again, it's the same size as a 365. Why not go with a 10-round magazine and do that? But again, it's a really nice gun. It has a really little handle on it. If you have a problem holding on to the 365 because your hands are just too little, the 42 is probably going to do you just right. Now the difference between the P365 and the Hellcat, I don't know. They're pretty close to the same. Again, if you can take this little divot out right here, get that sight to sight, it's just so comparative. So the 365 and the Hellcat, they're such comparative guns that I would have a hard time choosing, but not really, because of the stippling on the 365, and this gun just fits me a lot better than the Hellcat. So something else to consider on these above these two. You see right here on the Shield, there is not a rail on this. On the Glock, there is not a rail on this. On the 365 and the Hellcat, you do have a Picatinny rail on these. Now on the downside, the Sig Sauer, they do have a proprietary light that goes on here. This is not your standard Picatinny rail, so you do have to purchase something designed by Sig Sauer or aftermarket, specifically designed for the Sig Sauer P365. On the other hand, the Hellcat has your standard Picatinny rail, and you can put any accessory you want on here, whether it be a 7-foot long scope that fits on there or a TLR6, one of my favorite night sights laser light combos. Adding accessories to these could be a factor to a lot of people. If you want this to be your bedstand or your nightstand gun, the Hellcat would probably be a better option. You can pick whatever option you want to go onto the front of this. As the Sig Sauer P365, you're going to have to go with whatever is offered to you. If I went into a store and had all 4 of these sitting in front of me, all comparatively in price, which one would I pick? After shooting, after knowing about the Shield, I would not pick it. I don't like it. It's too thin. The Glock 42/43, both of them shot them very handy in the hand. I'd have a hard time not saying no to this gun. It's something that I would really like to stick in a bag, but if it comes down to one, I cannot pick this one. The Springfield P365. I'm going to put an extended pinky on there. This one here has great stippling, and if I was to hold this one, well, I have shot it also and I really like it. So this is definitely going to be a contender in which one I would be able to pick. Just looking, and I'm starting to notice on this one right here, they are the same barrel length. I don't really like the looks of the gun from here forward, even though they do have a marketing ploy that this little spring retention right here is made so that you can fire this gun when it's pressed up against somebody. You know, I don't really care about that, but it's one of the marketing ploys on that. The stippling on this, it does feel a little bit slicker to me than the P365. And just picking this up again, this is my gun. When I say it's my gun, not personally, this gun belongs in my hand and it feels so good. So it's just a personal preference. I would go with the P365 over the Hellcat. And actually, I can't wait to get the Hellcat onto the range to actually see if I like it better than the P365, but if these were sitting in the shelf at the gun store, I would definitely pick the Sig Sauer P365.
Alright guys, basically the same thing. I got all 4 firearms laid out here on the table, and I'm going to go through my process. So for the shield, the reason I'm going to dump this gun is because I did have to do all this stuff to it to make the gun fun to shoot, because I enjoy shooting my guns. The smaller magazines don't do nothing for me. This right here is 10 rounds with the shield. I'm going to go ahead and lay this on here because I'm going to have 11 rounds in this Hellcat, and you can just tell when I set these on top of each other how ridiculously long you have to make this shield to give it 10 rounds. I'm out of here. I like shooting guns more than I like reloading guns. When it comes to the Glock, this is going to be your 43-42. The gun is small. It will fit me to shoot. The stippling to me is atrocious. This gun is not fun for me to shoot at all. If I'm going to purchase a gun, whether it's to carry or have in the safe, I want to enjoy shooting it. I do not enjoy shooting the Glock 42-43 at all. Which is going to leave us again with the Sig P365 and the Springfield Hellcat. If I'm at the store and I need to buy one, I already know which one I'm going to buy. The reason I did purchase this Hellcat is because there is some other things I want to do to this firearm. It does fit in the hand well, just as much as the Sig P365 fits in the hand. I have shot the P365, I have not shot the Hellcat yet. And just going off of that for the basis, I don't enjoy the stippling on the Hellcat as much. I like something to be a little bit more grippy. One of their marketing ploys on this texture is they say you really have to grip it and grip it hard to get a good grip on it. But I don't want to sit here and squeeze the ever-loving crap out of my gun just to shoot it to where it stays in my hand. So if I had to purchase one just off the counter, not looking forward to other things I may be doing to these firearms, I would probably go with the Sig P365. I have shot this gun. It is very comfortable in the hand. And when I say very comfortable, these two guns, I really don't notice the difference besides the stippling when in the hand. And I do like the a little bit aggressive, more aggressive stippling to the P365. So if I was going to choose one, it would be the P365, but these guns are identical. You're talking a difference of stippling. So when it does come to buying these guns, I mean, everyone's going to tell you the same thing, man. You got to get it out there and shoot them all. But if you can't go shoot them all, I hope us just talking about these gives you some sort of things to think about when purchasing that carry firearm or even your first firearm in that generality. Some guns may be a little too small, but you're not going to know until you shoot them. Some guns may create problems that you have to bedazzle them and fix them up and make them extremely long just to fit 10 rounds. And some guns are just going to come perfect as they are when you buy them from the store.
So anyways, if we brought you any information that helped you guys out, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. They're both free. Leave a comment down below. Tell us what your favorite carry weapon is. And we will see you in the next one. I'm out.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just dream of fishing while I'm going through my workday. I listen to my boss, though he's driving me berserk. Damn it, I can't take much more because my brain is really hurting. And now the bank is always calling and I don't know what to do. And I haven't bought a crankbait since like 1992. But the bass are out there schooling.